they want to take a 10-acre parcel that's zoned for R144, and basically they want to turn that into a commercial piece of property and put a 75,000 square foot building on there for profit. That's a quote from their consultant. I think that's a misuse of that land. That whole area is an R144.
After we built our home, little change for many years. Traffic gradually increased with a notable increase after the construction of the Oro Valley Church of the Nazarene. Now their proposal for marked expansion with multiple football fields, multiple tall buildings, and parking lots will further increase traffic, noise, light pollution, stress on the electrical grid during the summer, and increased runoff down McCormick Wash, with an increase in the flooding and erosion that have already occurred downstream.
The need for commercial level installation of this magnitude is frightening to us, frightening of what it might end up. We don't oppose the church or their sports outlook at all. It's not it. It's the complex and the organization, the structure that'll come in and change our lives. That's what we're concerned about.
The church was unobtrusive for many years. Many years later, a much taller building was built. And then a few years later, another even taller building was built. The church began to be buying up the neighboring property. And we didn't comment on it at the time, but we were a little concerned about what was happening. They bought the 10 acres just east of my property that bordered my property on the east side. And I was hoping they were going to put in a bunch of lights that would shine into my backyard or my property, and put in light poles that would reduce my beautiful, beautiful view of Push Ridge, which is out of this world. But unfortunately, I got a come awakening when my neighbor to the north brought me the plans of the church for that 10 acres that they had purchased.
I know that the church is trying to make the argument that that it fits in with the neighborhood because CDO is right next door. I just wanted to point out that the CDO is not open 24 hours a day until 10 o'clock at night. It is a different thing that they are trying to suggest. I'm not sure where their 10-year plan is or 20-year plan is, but I'm wondering what happens if I sold my property to them, or Ann sold her property to them, or another 20 acres, another 30 acres. How big is this project going to get?